For our first problem, what volume in milliliters of a 0.121 molarity sodium hydroxide solution is required to reach the equivalence point in the complete titration of a 10.0 milliliter sample of 0.102 molarity sulfuric acid? So for this, we need to first write out the balanced chemical equation describing this reaction. So we have sodium hydroxide mixing with sulfuric acid. So we have sodium hydroxide, which is the NaOH, plus sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, yielding. So now the sodium is going to pair up with the SO4, so it's going to look like this, Na2SO4, and then the OH is going to go with the hydrogen, and it's going to be H2O. Now we need to balance this to make sure that they're the same amount of elements on one side as the other side. So in order to balance this equation, we need to put a 2 in front of the sodium hydroxide, and we need to place a 2 in front of the water. Okay, so basically this problem is asking us to find the volume of the sodium hydroxide, but to do that we need to find the moles of our sulfuric acid first, and then we can use the moles of our sulfuric acid and do the mole-to-mole conversion using this balance equation. So first of all, so moles is equal to molarity times liters. So we're going to be finding the moles of our sulfuric acid first. So it says that we have 0.102 molarity of sulfuric acid, so that's 0.102 times the liter. So in this case, 10.0 liters. In order to convert that to liters, you divide 10 by 1,000. So 10 milliliters is the same as 0.01 liters. Okay, so when you times those together, we get 0.00102 moles of our sulfuric acid. Okay, so now that we have our moles of sulfuric acid, we can use our balanced chemical equation here to compare the moles of sulfuric acid to the moles of sodium hydroxide. So we need to start with what we are given, which is the 0.00102 moles of sulfuric acid, which is what we found. So we have 0.00102 moles of sulfuric acid times, now according to the balanced chemical equation, there are 2 moles of sodium hydroxide for every 1 mole of sulfuric acid. So we have 2 moles of our sodium hydroxide over our 1 mole of sulfuric acid. So when we do 0.00102 times 2, we get 0.00204 moles of our sodium hydroxide. Alright, so now we have moles and we have our molarity, which was given to us in the problem for the sodium hydroxide. So now we can just find our volume, which will be our liters. So liters is equal to moles over molarity. So we have 0.00204 moles over our molarity of 0.121. We divide those, we get 0.0169 liters of our sodium hydroxide.